Hello everyone and welcome to this week's energy update. First off, I apologize for coming to you guys a day late. I've been really trying to honor the cycles and rhythm of my body and of life lately, and it's just been lots of things happening as summertime always tends to have lots of fun little surprises and little things that happen. So I appreciate your patience with me and just thank you so much for being here each week. Please know it means so much to know your support is there. So really excited to share what has been coming through for this week's energy. So last week we had these big themes around self-worth, around empowerment, around creating and being in this energy and the Leo energy, right? That's really what we're in. And this week continues that, but I do feel that this week it has shifted a bit and it's going to be more in these themes of rest, rejuvenation, rumination, and creating more of this bigger perspective of life and truly coming to this understanding of the long game. So being in Mercury retrograde, this is the perfect time for us to be stepping back, to be evaluating, and to be making a plan. So a lot of times throughout this energy, we get awareness to what hasn't worked, what is not currently working, and what needs to change for things to succeed. And that is really what I'm seeing this week, is this pause, this stepping back to truly see the big picture and how to really become successful. So that's exactly what this opening line came through as, which was regress for success. Now, this was really interesting because most of the time when this has come through and channeled through in the past, it has come through very differently, where it's like, don't regress for success, right? In the terms of don't get small, don't play small. It's time to be big, right? But this week it was taken very differently in terms of it is actually okay for you to step back sometimes and take the space and the time that you need to create what's next and to really get a clear picture of your current circumstances. So that's exactly what was coming through. So regress for success, knowing when to turn on and to turn off. Proper work-life balance. Now this was really cool. So a lot of us, we've been propelled into this new energy. We've been feeling this shift that has happened energetically so much the past few months, and maybe just throughout this year alone, you've been like, whoa, I am in a totally different space or totally different energy than I was last year. And with that, there's been a lot of life changes. There's been a lot of momentum. There's been a lot of shifts and completions is what I'm hearing. But now we're kind of caught up once again in this energy of whoa, there's so much going on and there's so much new and there's so much I'm trying to navigate, all while trying to heal myself and all while I try to, relax into the flow and learn this divine feminine energy. And sometimes just learning alone can be overwhelming, right? How often have we had that experience when we try to learn something new and it's wonderful, but we're like, geez, this is a lot to take in. So that's what I'm seeing. We've kind of been caught up in this damn, there's a lot going on here. And so now we're being called to pump the brakes a little bit, and we're learning to find our balance with this. So it's yay, exciting things have been happening. Or wow, there's been a lot of turmoil, or there's been a lot of change that has been happening. And we need to learn how to navigate it in a balanced way. So this week we're going to find that Work on your goals, work towards success. Absolutely. Keep going, keep learning, but know when it is time for you to switch off. Know when it is time for you to let those wheels that are constantly turning slow down and stop for a minute because it's needed. So this week we're going to have this pump of the brakes. And it's so cool because they're kind of showing me what's been actively propelling this very masculine energy of like, I need to get things done. I need to succeed. I need to learn and to know everything. You know, this almost like chasing perfection energy or just really striving to create what you want to create. And they're just showing me it's been driven by this fear, right? We're scared, right? And a lot of us are. We're in this energy of fear because it's like, well, now that I've created something new for myself, it's scary because what if I go back to the old way? Or what if things fall apart? Or what if things don't come together the way I want them to? And so they're kind of showing me someone being a little tight-fisted, like holding on tightly out of fear and constantly like, they're almost giving me this example of like nitpicking, making sure everything is perfect because you're so afraid of things falling apart. So this is what channeled here. So we have scared it will all fall apart, not knowing it will all go right. Do not be afraid. This is your destiny now. You can create what's next with ease and flow. You can generate support. Imagine a life that has everything you need. No more need for tears, for frustration, or for fear. Everything comes in perfect time, a manageable time, where all flows effortlessly. No need to rush, no need to change or pivot. So accept yourself just as you are, knowing happy surprises await you. Satisfaction is guaranteed. So I thought this was such a beautiful reminder for us because once again, a lot of us have become very fixated on a new goal. We are seeing this new beginning and we're just wanting to latch onto it. We're ready to dive right in. We're like, yes, this is it. This is what speaks to my soul. This is what I want to pursue. I feel like a lot of us have had these awakenings, these downloads to what we really want to be doing. And if not, coming to that awareness of searching for that. But we need to be mindful of not getting too lost in that worry and holding on to it so tight-fisted that we miss the point, which is enjoying the journey, is trusting the universe, is trusting yourself and your capability in life, and knowing that what's meant to be will be right when it's supposed to happen. And I love how they put this because it was like, imagine living your life without this worry, without this fear of things falling apart, of things not working out for you. Imagine just be so anchored in your belief of yourself, in your trust, in this foundation of trust with the universe. And they're showing me the partnership here. It's like, do you trust your partner? Do you trust your partner who's here holding your hand? And they're showing me someone looking away from their partner. Like, even though the partner's there, they've got their hand, they're like, look at me, I'm right here. I love you. I care about you. I'm going to make sure this happens for you. But your face is turned away, unbelieving, not trusting that that's even possible for yourself. So this week we might have these wounds that surface of not getting what you need, of resentment or deep grief with the universe for not providing it for you, for old cycles and patterns in this, where it's like, I do all this work, but my needs are still not met. And we might have this awareness as well to the deep fear that this is going to repeat again and again. But what I'm hearing is that in order for this to change, in order for you to truly create this amazing life that is possible for you, is you have to be willing to believe. And you have to be willing to trust and face these fears and say, no, I am not going to let this repeat again. So they're showing me once again the power of our thoughts and how we need to be aware they're just thoughts. Right? So they don't have to hold power over you. So hand in hand with this is the nervous system. And that's what they're showing me, is this nervous system overdrive where it's like, I need to keep safe. I need to safeguard everything. I need to be safe and protected. And this can really cause this hypervigilance. So be aware of that this week. Where am I overanalyzing? Where am I too high strung? Where is my nervous system perhaps an override, an overdrive? And where do I need to sink into this energy of safety, of love, of support, and to actively seek out ways to give this to yourself this week, especially? Because we're gonna have this revisitation of fear. We're gonna have these blocks surface this week. Also, we can learn how to pivot through them. And that's what's so cool, is they're actually showing me someone like dodging like a weapon. So a weapon coming out and someone weaving around it. So it's like, here comes the obstacle, but you're like, I can pivot, I can move out of the way, right? And this is exactly what we're learning to do, is how to bypass these issues, these challenges, by learning from our past and integrating that knowledge. So it's really cool. We can do this with ease, and that's what's so beautiful, is they're like, what if everything came in perfect time? Right? And how could you trust that? So if things are not happening yet and you're afraid and that's making you fearful, they're like, you need to start looking at it from a new angle. It's like, you don't know yet that everything's going to go right. And how often has that happened, where we've stressed and we've worried and we get to this goal or this thing and it all comes together, right? It all works out. They're giving me the example of like a wedding. You know, a lot of us, we stress about weddings. Everything needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be just so. And on the day of, how often is it that the bride and the groom, they're just like, we don't even care about those details, because this is a day to celebrate our love. It's about us. It's not about all those details. And it's like this illumination goes off this week to us realizing we are safe. Everything is going to work out. And even if there are things and mishaps that happen, it won't matter in the end, because you're gonna get there. And you're gonna get there at the exact time you're supposed to. So I'm just really hearing, like, get rid of timelines. Trust. Really ground and plant yourself in safety this week. And it's beautiful, because they're showing me how the universe is never going to give you more than you can handle, because it says literally, everything comes in perfect time, a manageable time. So if the thing you were asking for fell in your lap right now, would you have all the tools you need? Right? So this is another thing they want you to think about this week, is if I got exactly what I wanted, would I have everything I need? And sometimes we don't have that big picture of what we're missing or what we need to learn yet before this comes in. So they're like, trust the journey, trust the process. If things are being held up right now, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe you're supposed to take this step back, analyze, figure out what you need to learn to create this new reality. So really be mindful of that. So everything can flow. everything can go through effortlessly if you allow it to. And it starts with you, and they're really showing me this, like the body, the nervous system, the stress. Learn how to become your own peace this week. And you can get through anything when you learn how to be your own peace, because no matter what is happening around you, you're grounded in yourself. So think of ways this week and get creative with this. What are things I can actively do each week to feel grounded, to feel safe, to feel secure, to calm my nervous system, to work with my issues in a loving way? And it's going to change everything for you. So satisfaction is guaranteed. Super, super cool. And then they're kind of showing me like this warning sign, like alert, alert, stay vigilant, stay mindful. And it's really funny because they're showing me how this is a deception energy. So once more, we might have these triggers happen. We might be living in this way where it's like, oh my God, I got to protect myself. I got to defend myself from everything, from everyone. And it's like, they're showing me someone being super suspicious of everything. So this might be along the lines of friendships as well. So they're kind of bringing this in this week if this comes up for you. Why are you so suspicious of other people? Why are you so untrusting? Okay. And then there's this energy of like bringing your baggage with you. So don't bring your baggage with you. Deceptive energies draw near. Stay rooted in your strength and be vigilant. This was really cool because once again, even if a deception energy comes in, say it is valid, say there is something going on, they're just like, just stay rooted, stay strong. You'll see that from a mile away. And to trust yourself, trust your intuition with this big time. But the biggest thing is we're not going to propel this energy any further. So if you're constantly afraid that someone's trying to deceive you or betray you, or just, they're almost showing me like someone questioning the legitimacy of friendships and relationships, and it's hindering them because it's blocking a connection. It's blocking this ability for love and freedom to love to flow. Okay, so notice where these heart chakra blocks are coming up this week and look at them. Go, okay, what is really holding me back from participating in friendships? Could it be this fear? Could it be this worry, this defensive energy that is blocking the happiness and joy that could be given me from individuals in my life? So look at where this might apply as well. So very, very cool. So from there, we have a big focus on finances this week. So money, money, money. Interesting. Once again, they're showing me the partnership. Someone giving you their hand and being like, give me your hand. Give me your hand. And this is what's so funny. Is once again, I see someone being like, no, no, I don't want to give you my hand. And it's like, you're terrified. You're absolutely terrified to give them your hand. So, once again, working with these deceptive energies, okay? Where are you deceiving yourself? Saying no one is trustworthy, even the universe. Ooh, this goes deep there. Where do you not trust the universe? Where do you not trust your source? Where do you not trust others to be there and support you in this journey? And where are you feeling that? Is there resentment? Is there hurt? Is there grief? Is there a combination of all of those things? Because you're still stuck in this belief that you are alone, that you need to do it yourself, that you will not be successful because you don't ever get what you need. Wow, what a story. This is what we have to be illuminated to this week, is removing the veil, the mask of lies, of deception, to see the truth, because all along it is you now deceiving yourself by saying, I'm not in a new life. I haven't done all the work that I've done. I don't have new friendships. I don't have supportive connections. That's not possible for me. So once again, someone completely denying the change that has occurred, because they're showing me that so many of us have released toxicity, toxic relationships. We've cut the cords, we've cut the ties, but we're still emotionally attached to that baggage. We haven't let it go yet. We haven't realized, perhaps, it's over. It's done. And this is the realization we need to awaken to this week, is you're not in that energy anymore. You have evolved into a totally new version of yourself. Someone who has put themselves first. And they're kind of showing me like, champion yourself, because it took a lot for you to do what you did to get yourself here. So they're showing me this week, we're skipping steps. We're skipping over the celebration of this, the awareness of this. It needs to land this week. You've changed. And this has come up a lot in these readings. So I feel like many of us were needing this repeat message. Have you seen your growth? Have you honored the growth? Have you honored your journey? And if there's grief there over it, it needs to be felt. It needs to be honored. So they're showing me that this week we might have this release of grief, of how hard it was. How hard was it for you to get to where you are now? Do you need to tell your story? Do you need someone to hear it? Do you need to express the depth of it, even just for yourself? To go, that was really hard. Because they're showing me it needs to be validated. So open up this week. Talk, speak, express. In whatever way feels comfortable for you, in whatever way feels effective and good for you, to do so. Release this burden on your heart. Release the grief, the hurt, the pain of what you've experienced to get you to this pivotal moment. But then realize this is a pivotal moment where you can change it all. And I'm literally hearing like an unshackling, where you were releasing these chains that have bound you for so long and becoming free. Because you're not holding on to your past anymore. You're not listening to the lies, to the deception energy. Even your own lies that you tell yourself. You are learning to see them for what they are. Okay? So this is what's so cool, and this is going to actually affect our finances. So coming back to this topic, finances, okay? Finances are a way that we are supported. And this week, they want us to connect the dots. Where have we been unwilling to be supported? So if there's fear around finances and financial backing, this week we are pulling them out by the roots to see the root cause of why. And this is why. You have been failing to recognize that support is possible for you. So think of that. Where in my life is this echoing out? Is there any area that I feel unsupported, unvalued, unappreciated? And if so, are these areas of lack manifesting in this area of finance for me? Is this a mirror to me? So what I'm hearing is the cure: welcome in support. Accept support. And they're actually showing me a gift of money here. So if someone offers support, maybe financially, maybe it's in a gift of love, however it materializes, are you willing to receive it? Are you willing to receive support? And you need to ask yourself, why not, if you aren't? Things we need to think about. Where are we unwilling to let people show their love? Where are we denying that's possible? And what's so beautiful about this is that the universe is your partner. It's your divine counterpart. So how can we partner with the universe? How can we accept that help? So this transcends just our earthly relationships. This affects all of our relationships, including the one we have with ourselves and with the universe. So how can we welcome in that help? And how can we allow the universe to help us make our dreams happen? So circling back to the beginning of this reading, being so afraid that our dreams won't come true, that things won't happen for us, that it's not possible. It's time to bolster your faith. It's time to remember your divine partner and to rely on the universe to help you. So once again, we get very caught up on the how, on how's this going to happen? What do I need to do? How do I make it happen? Instead of trusting the process and the beautiful flow of life. So shed that weight, okay? And this is what's so cool is throughout this time of feeling lost, feeling unsure, not knowing the way forward perhaps, we're actually refinding our purpose. We're refinding ourselves. And that's the beauty of being lost, is you find paths you never thought were even there before. When you're lost, you rediscover. You find things you never thought you'd ever find. So we're getting this illumination through this fog of our power, of who we are, of how to trust, of how to allow the universe to show up for us. We're learning a lot through this time of fog. So allow yourself to take in what you're currently learning. And that's what's so beautiful is what came through here was shed the dead weight and re-find your purpose. Light is shedding on a situation. Why you are truly here. So I feel like a lot of us are going to wake up to these deeper understandings this week as well. Interestingly enough, Some of us are going to wake up to why we are placed where we're placed currently. Like, if you're in a situation you don't like, if you're in a job or you're in, say, a city or a country, you're like, I want to leave, this isn't my home, blah, 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 blah. If you're feeling displaced in any way, they're kind of showing me there's a purpose in this. There's a reason why you're here. So they're kind of giving me this intuitive hint here that some of us might wake up to what exactly that is, why they've been placed in the situation they're placed in. And for a lot of us, we're going to wake up to this awareness of the candle in the dark analogy. If you feel you're just surrounded by darkness, maybe you are the light. And maybe you need to be there to be that light. And this awakens a new mindset because we realize, wow, I'm not just placed here. I'm not just lost. I'm here to shine. And isn't that a beautiful thought? It's like, maybe I'm here for a bigger reason than I even realized. And it's beautiful because then it brings a beauty to your experience, right? It's not just a boring regular job. It's, I'm here to be the light. And we refine this amazing experience to something truly awesome. So they're kind of showing me this little like awareness coming in of being like, oh, wow, okay, this is way deeper than I thought. And this is what's cool, because what channeled next was don't be a stranger. And this was neat because a lot of us light workers have this tendency to want to hide and estrange ourselves from others because we're hypersensitive. We're highly empathic. We feel what others feel. We take on what others need to be taken on. It's like we just pile ourselves with responsibility and we tend to hide ourselves away. But what was really cool is we're going to be learning a new way this week of how to truly shine our light in a balanced way. And once again, they're showing me this whole all work, no play mentality, right? We're balancing that. We're learning how to meet our needs. We're learning how to receive support. So we're not so drained. So our batteries are topped up. And this is enabling us to take this next step, right? So if you're going to be the light, we got to feed the light. We can't just expect the fire to keep burning. We got to fuel the fire. So when was the last time you fueled your fire? Right? So we need to do that and not be a stranger. Your light is needed now more than ever. Avoid the urge to hide. Now this was cool because another avenue comes in here. And this had to do with work. This has to do with really doing what you want to be doing. And they're showing me this dual experience because you find your passion, and I feel like a lot of us can relate with this. We find our passion, we give it our all, but then there's all the other stuff that comes with it that kind of leaves the bitter taste. So maybe you had some bad customers or clients. Maybe you didn't know how to do all the financial stuff. Maybe you didn't know how to really enjoy the experience because it became work instead of your passion. So they're giving me these examples of like where all of a sudden the joy kind of left the experience. So it's like as much as you love it, it's like a double-edged sword, right? And that's what they're exactly showing me. So they're like, maybe you had this idea that it was all just going to be drudgery now. because it's like, well, I created this business, an example, and it's just been drudgery. It's just been, I don't get to do any of the things I really want to do. It's all work. I have so much responsibility. Once again, they're showing me this disbalance, this disharmony that's happened. And we need to come to this awareness of finding that balance. So what's really funny is like, would channel, bring balance and recognition, and your efforts will be tenfold. You will find it becomes worth it. Okay, this is what was really neat, is they're showing me once again, we are the leader of our lives. We decide how to structure every single day, and we need to stop handing our power away. Well, it's all the clients. I'm too busy. I can't schedule time for myself. Or, oh, it's all these other responsibilities. I can't make any time for me because of that. Or, oh, it's the money. I need to have this amount every month, so I need to prioritize that over myself. So once again, it's like, what is the story you're telling yourself? And what needs to be readjusted here? So we've known this experience for a long time, that if we've been in this energy of all work, no play, that's kind of all we know. So they're showing me now it's time to learn a new experience. It's time to make the adjustments, find balance, because no, it doesn't have to be that way, but you've made it that way. So how can you make the shift? Okay, so how do we do it? Recognition. Okay, so this all circles back to that support, this big wound this week of not feeling seen, recognized, supported. So start doing that. Start recognizing your efforts. Start seeing yourself as amazing. Start really commending yourself. Right? And don't expect it to always come from others, because they're kind of showing me this codependency. And we do need recognition from others, but we also need to recognize ourselves. So they're like, gratify yourself, show yourself how amazing you are, praise yourself, do it daily, and it will make things shift. The other thing they're showing me is take your power back. So if you've allowed all the other circumstances to take over, where do you now need to take over yourself and go, no, this is the balance. This is what needs to happen. They're showing me some scheduling changes, some tweaks, some fine tuning. So it's like, these are the days that I dedicate to this, and these are the dedicated days that I have for myself now. And this balance brings it all together. So we have to be willing to forego the ego. And it was really cool because they're actually showing me the Norse god Odin at this point. And if you're unfamiliar with Norse mythology, Odin, the All-Father, gave his eye in order to receive wisdom, in order to receive the gift of foresight. And this was such a beautiful example of exactly what we are doing this week, is we have to be willing to give up something, which means giving up the ego. And that's exactly what they were showing me with this mythology of Odin being that symbolic way of tearing out the physical eye to exchange and see the unseen. Right? So it's pretty incredible when we see this analogy, this story, and how that's literally what is required for us. We need to be willing to give up the ego. We need to be willing to see beyond the 3D experience, the physical world, into the deeper elements of life. And this is where enlightenment comes in. So they were asking, are you really ready? Are you ready to give up that ego? Are you ready to see the truth? Are you ready to see the future for what it really is? And are you really ready to stand in your light and rise above? Because they were showing me the minute you commit to this journey, the minute you say, I'm here, send me, the minute you go, I am a light worker, I will shine, it will require you shine. You following? You will need to stand in your light. And that means facing your fear. That means accepting help when it is offered. That means fueling your fire, fueling your light so it does not go out. That will require you to seek out outside sources who can help you see beyond your ego into the light. So that's exactly what came through. Seek knowledge from an outside source. They will see beyond your sight, beyond your ego, and help you make a plan for success. And I thought this was so beautiful because this week we're learning how to not only accept help, but seek help. Right? So if you're stuck in a situation and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, or I don't know how to change this, I don't know what to do, I'm so lost, I'm so afraid, because we might have those moments when we're totally overtaken by this anxiety. We might have moments when our ego is speaking so loud, we cannot see beyond it. This is the human experience. It comes with the highs and the lows. I don't care who you are, how enlightened you are. It doesn't matter. We're going to have those human moments because guess what? You are human. So when we have these human moments, we need to have people in our corners who can go, hey, it's going to be okay. And hey, let me help you. Let me show you what you can't see. And isn't that true when we go to a trusted friend, or we go to our guides, or we go for a session, the things that come to light for us that we're like, wow, thank you so much because I did not see that. Or, wow, you just pinpointed my problem because I'm just so in it. I just can't see it. So we need those things. We need that support. So seek out those outside sources for you. Listen to your intuition on who can be those people for you in your life, and don't hold back. And that's what's so beautiful is this whole week, we're breaking free. And we're learning not to take the past personally. And I love this because they're kind of showing me as well how we were rejected perhaps in the past. How things didn't come together in the past and that hurt us, but we're realizing now maybe that rejection was a protection. Maybe the things that didn't fall into place really weren't meant for you. Maybe there was something that you were being kept safe from. And we have to remember that the friendships in our lives that dissolved, the events that took place or didn't take place, maybe it was all for a reason that you couldn't see. So don't take those things personally. Let them go. Learn how to release it. And just go, you know what? It is what it is. That is what life is. It's the human experience, and I'm going to trust my path. And this is the maturity that is happening this week, is we are learning how to get to this stage of evolution. So we're acknowledging the fears and we're growing beyond them. to truly be free. And we're becoming a team, which is so beautiful. They're showing me this week is going to be so full of like community, where you're learning to become part of a team, and it's healing your heart. It's healing your heart. It's healing all of these parts of you that felt so isolated and alone and misunderstood and untrustworthy. It's almost like all this deception energy now is being freed from you, so you can finally see the truth. And it's so beautiful because now all these options are in front of you. You're realizing with help, with support, you can do it all. You can do everything you wanted. You just didn't see that was possible. And you're getting the help you need to truly succeed. And maybe this was the purpose all along. Maybe you weren't supposed to succeed by yourself. Maybe this was the lesson, was learning how to succeed with help, was learning how to receive the love that you have always deserved. And doesn't that make your goal that much more beautiful? Sharing it, sharing the experience, holding the hands of the people you love because they're right there with you, holding the hand of the universe and seeing it in your life. Wow, that lands. That brings tears to my eyes because it's just so beautiful. Because you are never alone. You are never meant to be alone. You never were. So this week, acknowledge the hand of God in your life. Acknowledge the hands that are reaching out towards you now. Acknowledge the friendships, the partners, the love that is being offered to you throughout this time, even if it's a time of challenge. And hold on. Grab hold. Don't hold yourself back anymore from this beautiful experience of life, this experience, this opportunity to be truly loved. And that's exactly what it is. When you let people help you, you are giving these people an opportunity to show their love. So don't deny them that chance. Let people show up for you again. Let people be there for you again. And know without a doubt, you will never be alone. So my friends, what an amazing week. That's all I have for us. I feel like, what a reading. It was so beautiful. It touched my heart. I really hope it touched your heart. And if it did, please leave your name, your comment below. I love to get to know my followers. I love to get to know who actually listens to these readings. It really warms my heart to know each of you are here each week, and I would really appreciate it. So I'm sending you all so much love, and have a beautiful week, my friends. Until next time.